Well, I did sin before marriage. Lord, forgive me. He did. Okay, now, one thing that happens that is also not helpful because we
Mm-hmm.
think, oh, we only think about the act of watching it on TV or whatever we see and everything and how it makes us feel in the moment. But if you continuously watch it over and over, what you're doing is you're seeing two people acting, and then
Mm.
you take what they're acting out and try to make it your reality. So what happens is over time, it's almost like you get sucked into a scene and you try to make that real for you, and all of a sudden the body type that you see, the woman, the way she's shaped, you looking for that. The way, oh, how about this? Did you know that when you look at those bodies, men oftentimes start to look at the differences between how they look and how the man look on TV and start feeling insecurities. Women are being judged by what a man sees on TV as far as what her curves look like and how she moans and grows and all that stuff. And I know we keeping it funky. I know we keeping it really real. But this needs to be talked about because we don't talk about it enough. And when you
Mhm.
looking at that and you taking that reality, your reality, and you substituting it for play, then you are bringing harm to not only yourself, but it's like the real life intimacy that you would normally choose is now being wiped away, and now that unrealistic act or scene becomes your reality. And when addiction takes place in that, then that's when you go to stuff like erectile dysfunction. Did y'all know that comes with watching a lot of pornography? Did y'all know
Mm.
that?
No.
Not being able to get aroused anymore. The arousal now comes more from what you see on TV than when you actually have a live human being that you're supposed to be one with coming together. It doesn't arouse you as much because you living in a it's like that's what it is. You get sucked into a fantasy land and reality is no longer satisfactory.
And you're saying something free because you're right. Insecurity is one of the biggest things that happens for the man and for the woman. Because I'm gonna be honest, in my first marriage, that was a tool. And so what happens is you end up having a favorite because, like you said, now you have a body type, right?
Mm.
And now you have a favorite that you like to watch every time that person makes the video. You want to make sure you watch that favorite one, or anytime you
Wow.
want to watch a video, you go to find that favorite one, so you end up
Mm-hmm.
having a favorite. But then if your spouse don't moan the way she moans, then hold on, what am I doing? Am I doing something wrong?
Wrong. Come
Are you
on.
not are you not enjoying it?
Yeah.
So insecurity is one of the biggest things. And even down to what you said, even down to females, or males, when you're constantly pleasing yourself off of these videos and stuff, you're right. There's a sensation that leaves from the human touch. So when your spouse touch you, because there's a heightened arousal,
Mm-hmm.
then when your spouse touch you and it's intimate but it may not be so heightened, then all of a sudden it doesn't get you off as much, and now
Yeah.
something's wrong sexually. No, it's nothing wrong sexually. You let this device divide.
Ooh. Ooh.
Wow. I love it. The realness, man. This is what we are. This is what we do. We keep it real. We keep it 100, but we also lead you to the word of God.
Right.
So don't think that we're just staying on one spectrum of it, but we just got to deal with this part of it so that we can show you the right way through the word of God.
Mhm.
But the whole point is that you have you have an entity that is used
Mm-hmm.
to manipulate what the whole aspect of relationship is, relating is.
Come
So
on.
now society has come to the point where they believe being in a relationship that this is what it requires
Yeah.
because this is what's selling. They sell this is a moneymaker. This is almost like Jesus coming
Mhm.
into the temple and
Flipping them
flipping
tables.
it over in a house of, yeah, done
Yeah.
turned it into
Yeah.
a house of thieves. We didn't turn the institution of marriage into a perception of pleasure,
Wow.
a perception of arousal, a perception of this is what relationship looks like. So some of us even get in relationships and we don't even know how to talk to each other. We don't even know how to get to understand what you like, because what we're doing is we're looking for the relationship to arouse us, as opposed to being in the relationship to do what God has called us to do for a relationship, for the purpose of marriage.
Right.
So we done totally manipulated the whole system of the institution, and we made it a level of a desire, or made it a level of prostitution, because we're prostituting what it is. It says, and the two shall become one flesh. That means for the purpose of what? For marriage. It ain't you would be pleased by your wife or your husband, but that's what it's supposed to be. We're not supposed to use it to educate us on a relationship, and that's the narrative that scientists are putting out. You know, this is what's gonna please, but too much of it is gonna make you do this. Not enough of it won't stimulate that part of your brain. But no, if you understand the word of God, you don't have to worry about stimulation. But at the end of the day, because the connection is what's going to bring you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The connection, connecting. How do you connect? Conversation.
Right.
How do you connect? Getting to know. How do you connect? Through the word of God, showing me how to love this woman.
Right.
Love your wife like Christ loved the church. And not displayed it so everybody else can get pleasure of it, but that he gave his life and sacrificed his life for that woman. So that's what it's about.
Right.